Pros Who Know is a show where we sit down with professionals in the home improvement industry to gain knowledge and insight straight from the pros themselves. In today's episode, we'll meet Frank Gleason of Air Concepts, Air Conditioning and Heating, and Aaron Cunningham with Treebark, Termite and Pest Control.
My name's Frank. I'm with Air Concepts. I am operations manager. That means that I pretty much run all the departments, make sure everything's running smoothly. I really enjoy my job. I get to work with a lot of different type of people, and it's very rewarding. I love working with customers, and if there's a problem, come to me, I'll take care of it for you. Well, it's funny, I started out in the appliance business, and I was over in Cypress College, and the instructor from the commercial refrigeration had seen me at a VICA competition. I took the gold. So he came over to me and he said, "Hey, I know you're doing appliances, but we need somebody like you in commercial refrigeration and air conditioning. Would you like to get in our program?" And I said, "Okay." That's how I got started in the business as far as through schooling. And then after that, I had worked with my father doing the appliances, and then we expanded into central air conditioning, and he went a different direction. So he said, "Why don't you start a business?" I said, "That sounds like a good idea. Maybe I should." Let's see, it's been almost 33 years now as the company's been established. Obviously, Kelly is the majority and president of the company. But yeah, I had roots in starting that, and then working with her father and marrying Kelly and having our sons in the business now. So it's been really good. It truly is a family business. And a lot of people say, "Oh, how can you do that?" But we all have our own departments and stuff. And we always have Sunday dinners every Sunday, and so we're a pretty tight-knit family. So it just, we have one rule, and that is on Sundays, we don't talk about business. So it keeps it all, level-headed. Yeah. Well, we like to give back as well. And so whenever we get a chance, we're going to do something with Rebuilding Orange County, or any of these other agencies. Right now, we're building an American Legion. We want to give them an air conditioning heating system. Whenever we can give back to our community, we like to. Also, we support ASPCA, right? There's a dog in most of our ads, so we love animals. We're all dog lovers here. So we support any animal advocation, and we've also helped out with Chalk Hospital. That's important. These things, to give back, since we've gotten so much, it's nice to give back. With the changes of seasons, visible dust at the registers and grills, allergies, COVID-19, and fires, there are a lot of reasons why one would think that they need their ducts cleaned. But what is the real answer? According to the EPA, duct cleaning is only necessary when the following are present: fire or smoke damage, mold, water damage, urine or feces from vermin, or excessive dust buildup. Oftentimes, duct cleaning companies use fragrances and chemical adhesives which hold the dirt in place after cleaning. Air Concepts recommends proper filtration and a sealed ducting system. If you don't have a sealed ducting system, what's going to end up happening is you're going to infiltrate. It's going to suck in from the attic. It's going to suck in through the walls if it's panned. It's really important to have a sealed ducting system, proper filtration, and you should never need to have your ducts cleaned. If you are cleaning your ducts, you're going to possibly get them damaged, and if it's in between the wall or something, you're in a lot of trouble. You might just want to look into, after 20 years or so, it might be time to replace that ducting system. Call Air Concepts for a free estimate for sealing deck work or replacing old or damaged ducting, along with high-efficiency filters and state-of-the-art COVID-19 killing technology. Buying a new air conditioner and a heating system is a considerable undertaking. You may be tempted and find it convenient to go to the nearest home improvement store to make your purchase. Although it might sound like a quick solution to save money, there are pitfalls to be aware of. Big box stores partner with outside companies to perform the installation to make additional profits. And more times than not, the actual contractor has a subpar reputation. The subcontractor is subject to all the negative reviews, and big box goes unscathed. Lastly, big box makes ridiculous loss leader offers like $29 tune-ups just to get in front of homeowners to ultimately convince them to buy a new system. Once a purchase is made, getting dependable service could be another story. Who do you call if there's an issue with the sizing of the system? What if it is installed incorrectly? Where is the installing contractor now? What happens when you need emergency service or have a warranty issue? You call the 800 number and pray you eventually get transferred to the right person. You are usually better off going with a trusted licensed contractor like Air Concepts Air Conditioning and Heating. When you're with Air Concepts, you call up, we know who you are. You are part of our Air Concepts family. We're going to put a lot more of the personal touch into it. Air Concepts will come out and assess your home, and we'll do a heat load calculation, so you're not just guessing. By doing so, we will determine the best HVAC system and financing option for your family's comfort and budget.
We'll be right back.
Honestly, being in the business for a long time, it's very difficult to go against another contractor on a bidding process when they're what we call chuck in a truck, meaning that somebody's just working out of their garage and the homeowners, all they're looking at is cost, and they don't really know what it is to actually have a quality system because they don't understand. So we want to empower the homeowner with education. And yes, it does take a little longer to understand the processes, but in the end, the homeowner is going to know exactly what they're getting. They're not in the dark about anything, right? It's transparent and it's an educational experience. And if you appreciate that and want these things, then you're going to go with our company. And so it's a joy for us to take somebody who's thought, oh my gosh, I got a price for, let's just say $6,000, and we might be twice as much. People are like, that's all they're looking at is price. There's a lot more to it. Are you getting permits? Was the system designed for your home? Did you get duct work? What are your warranties? Is there a maintenance agreement? All these play a big part. And once you see that, then that dollar difference gets smaller and smaller and smaller. So we like to build value. And people, they love it. And we get referrals all the time and many satisfied customers and write-ups because they just can't believe the difference in the system that we've installed for them. It's quite rewarding, quite rewarding. Well, there's many effects of having a system installed incorrectly. First of all, there could be potential hazards. You could have fire hazards. You could have electrical shock hazards, okay? Then there's always you don't have a permit. So if you don't have a permit, what's going to happen? What could happen down the road? Well, if you sell your home or if somebody finds out, they might have you rip out your system. The other things that people don't realize is exactly what you said, operating costs. If you have an old system that was running great, but costing you an arm and a leg, and you have a new system that's installed incorrectly, it might cost you an arm and a leg and not cool properly. And of course, the most important thing is home comfort. And we don't want a noisy system, we don't want drafts, we want something that's going to evenly heat and cool the home, remove humidity properly, keep your home safe with proper filtration. And so yeah, there's a big difference in between systems, and until you know the Air Concepts value system that we have here and the way that we do stuff, you won't know the difference until you have us come out and explain it to you. Or watch one of these videos, now you're educated. You're empowered. That's what we do here, is empower you. We have some wonderful maintenance agreements that are comprehensive, and we'll be out there within 24 hours if you need to, and we can even bring you lender AC units if your old unit happens to go out if we're getting ready to put in another system. And so yeah, we want to make sure you guys are comfortable, the homeowners are comfortable, because it can get pretty rough out there, especially with seniors or people with medical conditions. So we're here to help.
Call Air Concepts Air Conditioning and Heating today. We'll be right back.
Fumigation is the shittiest way to kill bugs. It is the dumbest, most bonehead Neanderthal way to accomplish the goal, period. Fumigation is filled with greenhouse gases, and it's bad for the environment. And it's just not required to do termite control. You don't have to, quote unquote, nuke your home to get rid of a bug. especially a bug that's gonna come back. I mean, there's no one-shot simple solution that will remove pests from your home forever. It's about control and maintenance. Maintaining your home, maintaining the quality of your home so that when you do get an infestation of anything, it's removed before it becomes an inconvenience to you. When I was a kid, we were using harsh products like DDT, Chloridane, Premise. There's others that if I thought of, mainly pyrethrin-based and others. But for the most part, the products that we were using were always heavily toxic, not only to you, but to us. And we're way more likely to have problems than your limited exposure. We work with it every day. I mean, it's been 70 years since this product was created. And yeah, it still works, but at what cost? I mean, honestly, it is the worst greenhouse gas. You know, when they talk about climate change and global warming and all this stuff that's real, okay? Understand that we're pumping in a greenhouse gas every time we fumigate a home. And ultimately, when you remove that gas, they suck up and vacuum as much as they can to recapture it, to reuse it. But for the most part, it lingers around for a few hours until someone comes in with a meter to clear the house. And in that couple hours of time frame, it's just airing out. So if you've got your windows open right next to this house that's been fumigating, it is 100% possible for you to be accidentally exposed to a deadly neurotoxin that could cause you significant health risks. There was a case purported about 13 years ago, 2008 or 9, in which they had forgot to open up the cabinets in the kitchen, and the gas had gotten somehow inside and trapped in the cabinets. So when the lady came home and opened the cabinet, she was hit with a lethal dose of this poison, knocked her ass out. I mean, holy frickin' moly. That's worth it? That ain't worth it, brother. That ain't worth it. Better minds than me and mine have worked tirelessly, relentlessly for decades to develop pesticides and insecticides that handled the job without the side effects and dangers that have come along with it. We have a product in the Treebark final system that is replicating how Mother Nature controls pests. It's a synthetic replication of the Rhyania speciosa tree. When the tree is attacked, it produces an enzyme that disables the mandible of the insect so that it no longer can chew the tree. In nature, this effect wears off, right? So every time they go to the tree, they bite it, they get the enzyme, it stops working, they go F that tree, and they go to somewhere else, right? Scientists have taken that method of nature and tweaked it just a little bit synthetically to gain the same function, but the longevity to keep it to where they starve. So instead of it wearing off and they can just go and hit another tree, they just starve. And it spreads throughout the entire colony. So for me, I don't know why a different company would be using something from 30 years ago, 50 years ago in the case of fumigation, when we've got something from 2013, 14 that is mimicking, replicating Mother Nature's way of doing it and doing it successfully, statistically proven. Modern day technology doesn't require you to be health impacted to get rid of any pest. This whole Treebark thing came out of the fact that, like, I never want to see happen to one of my coworkers like what had happened to my friend Gilbert Gutierrez. Gilbert Gutierrez isn't here today because we used products when we were kids. I'm telling you, man, pesticide exposure is a problem, period. And it still is to this day, only because these old timers will go out and use products from the 70s, 80s, 90s that have been around forever. They're usually like pyrethrin based or biephrins, or there's a bunch of low-end stuff out there. There's a ton of low-end products, but they want to continue to use it because it's cheap and works. And they don't have to use it. They'll just write the check. But someone's got to use it. Someone's got to be around it every day. Gilbert Gutierrez was around it every day, and he's no longer here. So long story short, it's always been near and dear to me to protect the people I work with. You know, our guys know that we are going to do the research on the products to put them in the best position to win. We're going to pay them so where they can live the American dream, that they can own their own homes, that they can save their money, and that they can grow and be someone that they can be proud of, right? Because when they feel proud of where they work, it reflects in their work, right? And when they don't feel proud of where they work, it reflects in their work. So understand, if the leading competitor comes out to your home, right? They're going to sell you a product that is bad for their technicians, bad for you, cheaper than mine. Whereas my guys are going to come out with the most advanced product on the market that is proven to be better for them long term and better for you long term as far as in regards to exposure. That's the most important thing. You don't have to kill these bugs by killing yourself.
We'll be right back.
The bread and butter of all termite and pest control companies is reoccurring services, maintenance programs being one of them. So let me forewarn you, everything I'm about to say benefits me financially. Reoccurring pest control, reoccurring maintenance plans. So we're going to recommend that to you because that's our bread and butter. But in reality, having someone come out, look at your home so that you don't have to every year is the plan, right? But if you weren't going to pay someone to come out and look at your home every year, right, you would be looking for the telltale signs of pellets, eggshelling on the paint, crumbling wood when you're hanging your Christmas lights or things like that. You know, sometimes the insect will eat right up to the paint and then that wood is no longer there, and then as the heat changes, it creates a bubble, especially if you have latex paint. And then when you go up and touch that bubble, it pops and you realize you've got a problem. So just being aware of your home. Sometimes people don't hang Christmas lights, right? Sometimes the lights just stay on and they plug them in at Christmas. There's a ton of things that would cause you to not be aware of them. And ultimately, a lot of times these insects are not going to eat right in front of your face. You know, they're going to catch a rafter tail on the second story, right? That you're not going to see. So the only real way to get ahead of it is having someone come out who knows what they're doing every year, touch it all. And what I mean by touch it all, they come out with these sticks. One's a ski pole typically, and one's a painter pole on the other one, and they just touch it all. And as weird as this sounds, we can hear it because they create cavities and voids in the wood, and solid wood always hits like solid wood. Hollow wood always sounds like hollow wood. Case in point, the wall behind me, it's got studs in it, and then vacant voids in between about 16 inches. When you hit that void, it sounds hollow. When you hit that stud, you're like, there's something behind this. Same concept. Same thing as when you go to a dentist. These little sticks that we're poking around your house with, just like a dentist with that little one poking around looking to see if you go oosh, right? Same thing we're doing. We're gonna hit it and we go oosh, there's one. Same thing the dentist is doing. So you wouldn't wanna go around and poke your teeth by yourself, right? I wouldn't recommend you going around to your home by yourself. If you want to, that's fine, right? But ultimately have a professional come out and touch them all and really give you an idea of what you got. Because there's other things that are subtle that you will overlook. It's not a pellet, but it's called frass, F-R-A-S-S. And that's when a termite first enters a board, they don't actually eat the wood. They actually just dig in the wood. And that little bit of digging creates like a frass that we identify as a new infestation. We can control an infestation before it ever causes damage. So for that person how do they know it's time for termite control? It's always time. If you don't have a program, and I understand that sounds self-motivated, but understand that these insects eat from the center of the board to the exterior of the board. By the time you find them, they've caused damage. By the time I find them, I've saved you money, right? The money that you would save in wood replacement services will grossly outperform and outpace my $360 a year. Think about it like this. A 2x4, when you pay it for 10 bucks, 2x4 usually comes in 8-foot lengths for 10 bucks, and you can buy additional lengths. But if they go through about 6 inches of wood a year of a 2x4, it's literally eating dollars. And that's on one colony. It's one colony. If you have multiple colonies, which is very possible around the home because of nature, swarming every year, just going to hit different areas. You're talking about every 6 months, you're losing $100 in lumber, compounded over inflation and years of not doing anything about it. That's a bill. It's going to be a bill, right? So at the very least, having a maintenance program is going to save you time and money. On our annual control policies, for $360, you're warranted for all types of termites. So he's going to come out and inspect his house. Anything he finds, he's going to treat for free. But while he's there, even if you're not on our pest control service, is going to perform a pest control initial. So every year, whether you're on our pest control service or not, you're going to get a termite inspection, any type of maintenance you need, and a good, solid base. And for a lot of people, a good, solid pest control initial is all they need every year. There's plenty of people that don't need reoccurring service, right? They just want a one-time shot, right? We include that in our service. So that if you're one of those people that just needs a once a year, you don't even have to pay for it. You're under the plan, right? If you do need a quarterly or a bi-monthly program because your neighbors got issues or you got stagnant water somewhere and you've got problems that are reoccurring, we obviously offer that service too. But our regular everyday service is going to keep you pest free and not even be charged additional for it that a competitor would. So a lot of competitors, including ourselves, have pest control separated from termite control a la carte, right? If you just stay on a termite plan and you don't need reoccurring pest control service, you're going to get that pest control service initial every year. And for like 80% of people, that just one shot is going to keep you without ants, going to keep you without roaches, going to keep you without crickets, going to keep you with all those things. Now, bear in mind, 3 months later after my initial and you got a cricket, you probably want to stay on the plan. You know what I mean? Like there's no one shot, single kill. I did termites 2 years ago, I'm fine. I fumigated, I hear this all the time. I fumigated a few years ago. Okay? There's no way that a fumigation 5 years ago is protecting your home today. 0 chance. Because there's no residual. Once the bag goes off, the gas is pumped out, it airs out, your home is back to the way that it was before the fumigation, correct? So when a swarm happens in the neighborhood, there is no protection there. And if you're not under any type of service plan, they're going to infest the home and you're going to be back to square one where you were at 5 years ago in just a few short years. I did an inspection for a guy 6 months ago. He had just bought the home, they fumigated, the fumigation tag's right there. He had drywood termite swarmers. The reality of the world is they swarm twice a year, 2 different types, and they're going to come back over and over and over. And the only way you can get rid of them per se is to keep them under control using as naturally derived organic products as possible. The main big difference between our company and a different competitor's company is one, I wouldn't do anything that I wouldn't do I wouldn't fumigate my home. It's not worth it. I would maintain my home with love and care. And ultimately, that's what our guys do.
Call Treebark Termite and Pest Control today.